Hello, I'm Naz. I am a mentor at Look, and I've been asked by Look to do a couple videos. And this is all to do with promoting inclusion of visually impaired students in the non-academic side of like uni life. So my first topic is confidence. And I'm going to do a question and answer thing. So I'll be reading off the screen and asking the questions and then reading them out, so answering them. So the first question to do with this topic is, are you a confident person? And for the most part, I want to say yes, but I feel like I'm not as confident as I would like to be, especially in scenarios where I struggle with my eyesight. So like in pubs or restaurants, or when I'm out as it's getting a bit darker outside. So these are all relating to my visual impairment. And the next question is, have you always been a confident person? I haven't always been a confident person. I think confidence is something that you build, and it's not something that just like you get good at overnight. It's like a skill that you have to practice. And I feel like when I do have like phases of like low feelings, low self-esteem, then I will do things to boost that. Like I will book like a short holiday by myself and challenge myself to go out and about and explore by myself, and then I'll come back home feeling good about that, because that was hard to do on its own, like even for a sighted person. Like adding on the fact that I can't see very well is like a huge bonus. And so yeah, that's like something that I do to boost my confidence. The next question is, can you tell us about an experience when you gained confidence? And I guess I just answered that, but I think just generally like getting out of my comfort zone and not letting my sight impairment stop me from doing what I want to do and achieve, and like not get in the way of my goals. So there'll be things like I'm a musician, for example, and I do have night blindness. And being a musician means like, you know, going to rehearsal studios, which are generally quite like, you know, the vibe is like dim lighting, and that's the same in pubs and venues, and yeah, in general, everywhere's like a bit difficult to access. Like not everywhere is accessible. Not everywhere is going to have these bright white lights that I have at home, you know? So going back to the question, an experience where I gained confidence, like there'll be loads of experiences. So like, yeah, booking a holiday by myself and going through with it, traveling by myself, and by traveling I mean like I have taken a plane before to a different country, but like it was a country that I'm familiar with, where my family are from, and I would have booked assistance. And I do the same with like for example, I went to Bath last year, which is like a 3-4 hour trip with a few train changes, and to get to that point I would have booked my assistance. And yeah, like even that in itself is quite daunting, even if I am getting help, because it's like somewhere that I haven't been by myself before. So there's that, there's like gigging, even going to a rehearsal studio and setting up my stuff. There's what else have I done? I've done public speaking before. That's a huge confidence boost, because that's quite like a scary thing to do. And yeah, I lived by myself for a couple years, and I'm planning to do that again soon. Yeah, there's loads of things you can do to boost your confidence as a visually impaired person. These are just like a few that have popped into my head. There's probably so many more things that have helped me with my confidence. Next question. Why do you think it's important to be confident? Why do I think it's important to be confident? I think it's important to be confident because it just feels nice, I suppose. Like you're more like sure of yourself when you're out and about, and can like communicate more like easily and efficiently. You can navigate around without like anxiety, which I'm getting better and better at. Like I used to do a train journey to a familiar place, and my anxiety would be like so high. Now I don't really think about, you know, the hundreds of things that could go wrong. I think, okay, like I'm present, I'm taking this train journey, and I'm just going to think about now and maybe the next step, like getting off the train, rather than thinking, oh, how am I going to get to my destination, and what will happen during my train journey, and like just overthinking every little thing is something that I have gotten better at not doing. By, I guess something that's helped me with that is like meditation and just being still and present and okay with being in the now. I hope that made sense. The next question is, what would you say to a young person who is feeling underconfident or is struggling with self-doubt? I would say that it's normal to feel whatever you're feeling, because we're only human, and not to be so hard on yourself, especially if you are like, if you do have a health condition, and like with visual impairment, that is a huge confidence like knocker. And yeah, like something that I'd recommend is affirmations are really useful. They're something that I use every day. So by affirmations, I mean like, you know, saying, like having conversations with yourself every day, and like being kind to yourself, and just like every negative thing you think of yourself, turn it around and like challenge it, and speak to yourself, like take a step back, speak to yourself as if you're talking to a friend, as if like a friend is talking to you even. So if I was feeling like doubtful about, I don't know, for example, living independently, I would maybe journal this, or maybe literally like talk to myself, and I would say, hang on a sec, Naz, like you've lived by yourself before, and you managed that, and you had so much support around you, and you're totally like able to do that now. And then I would say like affirmations like, I am confident, I am strong, I am able to do this, and things that are more nourishing, rather than, oh, I'm not confident and I'm useless and I'm worthless and all of this. Because the more we talk to ourselves like that, the more our brains will believe that, and that's what you'll like manifest. I know it sounds silly at first, but the more you practice it, this isn't something that like sort of, you can't rewire your thinking overnight, but if you're consistent with it, you really like do attract things that you truly do want, like the positive things. You can't say to yourself, oh, because I have a visual impairment, I am not a confident person, or because I look a certain way, I am not a confident person. It's all down to the way you speak to yourself, the people you surround yourself with, like the things you listen to and read and watch, and surround yourself with confidence, basically, and soon you'll find that you'll feed off that. What does looking good mean to you? What are the most important things to you for feeling good? So, what does looking good mean to you? I don't know how to answer that one. I think feeling good. If I feel good, then I'll feel like I look good, if that makes sense. Like I could have my makeup on and stuff and I could look good, but if I don't feel good, then I won't feel like I look good. That was a bit of a tongue twister, but you know what I mean. So the next question is, do you have any tips to help young persons, YPS, help young people feel good about themselves as they go out into the world? So I think this means, do you have any tips to like young BIs? Feel good about themselves as they go out into the world. So again, affirmations. I always feel good after a yoga practice or some exercise. As I'm sure most people are aware, like exercise boosts serotonin levels, happy hormones in your brain, and yeah, I think they're called feel-good chemicals actually. So yeah, exercise, nourishing yourself with like a balanced diet, affirmations, yoga is amazing, like that's something that's really helped me. I know that if I don't practice yoga some days, then I feel really groggy and crap about myself. So yeah, these are like a few like bundle of things that might help young people or anyone feel good about themselves going into uni life or out and about and stuff. The next topic is meeting new people. First question of that topic, how do you introduce yourself to a group? Okay, so I always like go into panic mode when I meet new people, and I'm like, I have to make people aware that I can't see very well, because then I feel silly if I bump into something and embarrass myself. It's less embarrassing if I have a sob story behind it, you know? But joke aside, like I do that, and someone asked me, like, why do you feel the need to say that you have a visual impairment if you're, you know, introduced to a new like group of people or a new setting or situation? Like, that's my reasoning behind it, is that maybe I feel like I have more of an excuse to trip over things, and I don't want to like, yeah, embarrass myself. And it's nice for people to be aware as well, so they are aware and like know maybe like when to step in and help you. And although some people are hesitant to help because they don't want to be like patronizing, but yeah, it's just a nice thing to let people know, especially if you're like going into a new course or a new class, or just being introduced to new people. That's the first thing that I do. I think I make people aware that I'm a crazy blind person. But yeah, I don't really know what else I do. I think I'm just be myself, and that's what I'd recommend, like, for anyone. Just be yourself as well. The next question is, how do you cope with embarrassment, can you laugh at yourself making blind mistakes? Yes, I always make blind jokes, and if I trip over something or bump into something, I will usually laugh it off, and like people around me, they'll be like, do we laugh? Do we laugh at that? Or do we like, what do we do? And I make the most brutal blind jokes at myself, and yeah, people feel like quite weird about it, but then I'm just like, no, you can laugh, like, why the heck not? Like, you know, I think you have to add humour into something that might seem like a bit negative at first, and initially to like people around you or new people around you, just to lighten the mood and atmosphere a bit, and it's just more fun that way as well. And maybe I didn't used to be able to make like jokes all the time and like with my mistakes and stuff, but I think that was a time when I was grieving about my sight loss and I had to go through that process. And yeah, I think now that I've like accepted what I have, it's become easier to turn it into a fun thing by making jokes about it. Next question is, how do you explain your visual impairment to other people? I try not to say I'm blind, because even though I'm registered blind, but there's still that whole misconception about blindness being pitch black, and I don't want to feed into that, of course, but I think people will like take a step back and be like, but you can see, and I can see, but just not very well. So what I do say is, I'm visually impaired, I have this condition, it basically means this, and I'm also registered blind, and did you know that blind doesn't mean seeing in pitch black, and 90% of people who are registered blind do have some light perception or visual perception of some sort. And that would be like a summary of how I'd answer that. Next question, second to last question. Do you have a pep talk to give yourself before pulling yourself out there? I don't, but again, it's that affirmation thing. Like if I were to, for example, I'm doing a festival in a few weeks' time. I'm performing a few of my songs on the piano, and I guess before that, because it's been such a long time during COVID and stuff, and I haven't like been on stage for like, I don't know, it seems like 2 years now. So before that, I'll probably give myself a pep talk and say, okay, like you're going to do well, and people are gonna like what you have to sing and say and give and share. Your eye condition can't get in the way of this. You're great. You're this. You're that. I'll say that, and then I'll go, I am strong. I am this. I am talented. I am skillful. I'm funny. People like my company and my performance. So that would be like a pep talk, just like a conversation with myself, maybe the day before or on the day in the morning. Last question is, what would be your message to a young person who is afraid of being embarrassed by blind mistakes? Okay, so I would say I don't know. I think I would say, well, because I find it so easy to laugh about things and make a joke out of things. I don't want to be like, oh, just laugh it off, would be my initial answer to that, because maybe a young person who's really like afraid of being embarrassed by their mistakes, they might not find it that easy, just because maybe they're still going through their grieving process. They haven't quite accepted it yet. But I don't know, if I've learnt anything, like I just take things lightly, and try not to, like I injure myself all the time, like by tripping and bumping into things, and sometimes I am like, oh, like why do I have this condition? It's injuring me even more. But I sort of have to take a step back and be like, again, it's that pep talk thing, like talking to myself and comforting the situation and being like, you know, everyone makes mistakes, even sighted people trip and fall, maybe not as much as me, but you know, just to take it lightly, and people like it when you make a joke out of it, as well, because I feel like people don't know what to say if I'm, I don't know, like, yeah, sometimes I am afraid of like tripping and bumping into things, of course, like I get anxious, but you can ask like, what's the worst thing that can happen, and most of the time, like, it's just like a little fall or something, or a bruise, or I don't know. But yeah, I would just say that, well, however you feel about your mistakes, like it's a process, and it's okay if you're afraid of making mistakes, and one day you'll like learn, if you're open to it, you'll learn that not to be so afraid, and to accept the mistakes, I guess, and the way that you are. And yeah, I think I'll just finish it off there because I'm faffing on. But yeah, that's it from me, on the meeting new people section. I hope that was useful. I do want to add in something actually, because it is about meeting new people, and the last one, like, I think you have to put yourself in a situation where, if you think about it, like, if I was to meet new people and one of them tripped over something, or made a blind mistake of some sort, but like a sighted mistake, I wouldn't judge them, or I wouldn't think too much about it afterwards. I would ask if they're okay and say, do you need anything that I can help you with, and other than that, like, I wouldn't take it with me for the next like while. I would just like let it go in the moment, and that's what people do when I make blind mistakes, I imagine. So it's good to like shift the perspective a bit to make yourself feel better as well. On that note, I finished with this section, and I hope that was useful, and my confidence section was useful to you too. For any people who are starting uni, you've got this, and everyone's in the same boat, no one knows each other, everyone's like, oh, am I gonna make new friends? And you will. Yeah, just believe in yourself and just do you.